Armchair commanders, we call the shots. From our living room thrones where the action's hot. We're the generals of fiction, the masters of war. In silver screen battles with buttered popcorn. Armchair commanders, armchair commanders.
All right, welcome to the Armchair Commanders podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Jack.
And this week, we have a very special guest. His name is Kyle. He's a friend of the podcast and an amateur cryptozoologist. How are you doing today, Kyle?
I am fantastic.
He's
a little tired, but...
He's our go-to guy for anything big feet related.
Big feet? What is the plural of Bigfoot? Is it big feet?
Bigfoot. No, it's just Bigfoot.
Big Fi.
Just Bigfoot. Big Fi-fo bum.
You know,
Kyle,
fungus,
welcome.
fungi, Bigfoot, Big Fi. Come on now.
I just can't
for
give
our
it
guests
to
at
you.
home,
I don't know about that one, Chief.
for our guests at home, you might notice I sound a little different. That's because I'm coming to you live in glorious Technicolor. No, I'm having to do this from my car because of some tech issues. So what you are hearing is actually my car stereo is how I'm talking to you fine folks today. So please forgive me. We'll be up and running again normally next week. But to the matter at hand, this week's movie, The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Kyle, please tell me why you wanted this movie.
I chose this movie because I really like Bigfoot. So when I was looking at my list of movies, I said, oh, there's something I know about. Let's go for that one.
You gotta play to your strengths.
I really do, because I don't have many.
When was the first time you heard of or had seen this movie?
The first time I heard about it was on that list you gave me of movies to look through. I don't know when that was. That was a bit ago. And the first time I saw it was today.
So you're going into this like eyes wide open.
Oh yeah, I had no idea what to expect other than Hitler and Bigfoot.
And
I
that
gotta
was
say,
enough for
I
you.
was very surprised by this film. But before we get into that, Jack, when was the first time you saw this film?
Remember that time I visited my beloved cousin Mel in Colorado, and you and yours came to hers for a board game night and just dinner and chill and talk and shit?
Yeah.
Well, it was then. You know, this was like in, my dear audience, this is like September or November of 2021, so almost 3 years ago now. Christ, I need to go visit her again.
You really ought to. She's a nice lady.
Yeah, she's the only one I care about in Colorado. I can't really name anyone else I'd rather go visit.
How many people do you know in Colorado?
Well, let's see. John, Miranda, and Mel. I'm sorry, John.
That's fine.
Nobody likes Eeyore.
Oh, bother. So the first time I saw this film was yesterday. I had seen it, and I had known about its existence for a very long time. But the thing is that, so this wasn't a rated movie, so if I have to remember correctly, this wasn't like released theatrically. And in fact, the place I remember seeing this was literally on like the shelf of a Walmart one day. And it's kind of hard to ignore when you have Sam Elliott and the words kills Hitler and Bigfoot in the title. Needless to say, stopped me in my tracks, piqued my interest, but I was also like,
Hell
I'm not going to spend $20 to watch this.
But it's
So
like
I
a
never
$40 value. So like, really, $20
Well, I didn't know
is
that
a steal.
at the time.
Yeah, you're definitely getting more than you're putting in with this movie.
But then it got put onto Hulu, and when I saw it got put on Hulu, I was like, and this was a while ago, I was like, hell yeah, I'll put that to the ad list, and I'll watch it sometime, because I'm expecting this to be the same quality as like fucking. We did a movie like not too long ago. It was called Kung Fury. So I was expecting a Kung Fury level film out of this just on title alone, and I was genuinely shocked and surprised at how good this film was. Uh, what did you guys think?
Amazing. Incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, as much as I thought I would.
You
But
see,
I also thought it was going to be something kind of silly like a parody, you know. And they just played it straight and were serious the whole time, and I think that really helped it.
man, those fucking idiots who made the movie Downfall told us lies. Like, this is how Hitler really died. And who knew his assassin lived on to have such a storied, fabled life of killing Big Fi.
Who knew Sam Elliott was quite the assassin he is?
Yeah, I don't even remember his character's name. I'm just gonna call him Sam Elliott.
I do remember his character's name, but I do think it's better just to call him Sam Elliott, too.
Yeah, he essentially plays himself in nearly every movie. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I will say, I thought the first combat scene that we have with Sam Elliott, where some guys meet him in a parking lot and try to like carjack him, was hilarious. Because in that scene, it was very obviously choreographed, where it's like, oh yeah, Sam Elliott's like 70-something years old, and they choreographed a fight scene specifically to his like skill level.
Yeah, let's not have you move around too much. You're going to throw some stuff? It's going to be cool. And you know what? It was cool. I loved it.
I appreciate when he just like chucked a pipe into a dude's head, but I've got, and here's the thing: is like the initial like assassination scene with Hitler, like obviously like him assembling the hidden gun out of like a flask and like a weird thing shoved into his boot, like that was a little silly, but like the thing that I noticed, was that was, this film is very heavily like flashback focused, and I'm not generally a fan of flashbacks just because I think they can become convoluted and disordered, and like, I don't know, I think some filmmakers kind of rely on it too heavily for storytelling purposes, but like this film, I think perfectly executes the flashback. Like, it times them correctly, it gives us the right ones at the right time, and like it truly does move the story along and like gets us to like become endeared to Sam Elliott more and more throughout the film. And honestly, the flashbacks themselves, if we removed current day Sam Elliott, the flashbacks themselves could be their own movie.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the whole flashback sequence really told us, I think, a lot about him as a character, including when he kills Hitler and clearly doesn't like it. I mean, he takes off. He does not sit around to think about that kill at all. He was out of there. So it really shows who he is as a character. I could have used some more Hitler, I think. That's one of my only complaints with the movie. The real quote is the only issues I have with the movie is I could use a little more Hitler and a little more Bigfoot.
Okay, what do you have any more criticisms, Kyle Hitler?
Well, the Fuhrer needs more screen time, but that's any movie he's in. And some movies he's not in. So like
in all movies he's not.
Everybody needs a little Hitler.
Jesus.
It's not a party till Hitler shows up. I mean, ask
then it's
anybody.
a National Socialist Party.
God damn it.
They're a gas. Sorry, that was taking it too far.
Have you ever seen the Robot Chicken sketch that's like, Little Hitler?
What a rascal.
God, years ago.
Teacher, my desk is too small.
I need to borrow it.
I need the Czechoslovakian boy's desk as well.
Oh, God. So this is where I'm going to disagree with you, Kyle. So here's the thing: is like they do all this fantastic build up to the point where it's like, okay, he's a war hero who's got PTSD, he's got a troubled past, he has this awesome tale from World War II, and I can even get behind the concept of like Bigfoot's up in the Great Canadian North killing people. We need you to take them out. We've already sent our best after them and they died. Like, I'm cool even with that. But my problem isn't even with the idea of Bigfoot in this movie. My problem is that the Bigfoot portion of this film was the worst executed part. Where I walked away, like, after finishing this movie, I was like, if you cut out the Bigfoot part, this movie probably could have been an Oscar-worthy movie, if we're being honest. Because, like, they're like, we need you to hunt him down, and then it cuts to him immediately, like, being in the forest and taking pot shots at Bigfoot. Like, the entire Bigfoot sequence felt very quick and rushed and kind of just, like, haphazardly done. And to top it off, when we finally see Bigfoot up close, like, this movie, it's so well done. Like, the cinematography is beautiful, the soundtrack is amazing, that, like, the acting is very well done, the dialogue is fantastic. All, like, it's A1, this is an A1 film, and then we see Bigfoot up close, and it's no more than a dude who has a fucking, like, Halloween party store, like, gorilla costume on. And it's like, really, motherfuckers? We couldn't spring a few extra dollars for a realistic Bigfoot?
Yeah, they skimped on the second half of the title.
Well, yeah, most of the budget went to Sam Elliott being hired. Let's just accept that now. And how dare you? That's racist against Bigfoots. What if they just look like that?
Like,
Well,
you know what?
this
I've never
Bigfoot
met
was sick.
Bigfoot.
Dude, bro, you live in Colorado.
Well,
You should be on
obviously
a
he was
first name
sick
basis
because
with him.
they had to do the homage to Team America where Bigfoot, like, throws up for 30 seconds into fucking Sam Elliott's face.
Yeah, that was a lot. It was
It was
it
amazing.
took me out of it a little bit.
Literally,
But I
was
agree
like,
with you. I mean, the Bigfoot portion was really rushed. Like, that's why I'm saying I want more Bigfoot. I want them to, I don't know, have that be more of a focus of the movie instead of just that end bit. Because even when I was watching it, I thought, yeah, we could have not had Bigfoot here. Like, this could have just, like you said, just been this war hero story, coming to terms with all of it, dealing with his post-war feelings.
Sadness about killing the evilest man of the 20th century.
did you not listen to his speech in the dining room? I killed the mustache, but it didn't make a damn difference.
Oh man, someone got paid to write that in a room.
Yeah, barely.
Presumably on a cocktail napkin at 3 a.m.
I want to know what fucking drugs were done in the pitch meeting for. We talk about this a lot, where it's like, I only can imagine what the pitch meeting for this looked like. It's like, all right, Sam Elliott is a war hero dealing with a troubled past. All right, check, got it. He has a deep secret about a mission that was never told. All right, awesome. And now the government needs him to come in to do one more job. On board. What's his next job to save the world? Killing Bigfoot. What?
I mean, I imagine that room looked a lot like this podcast does right now. Like, a couple of guys who are like, let's make a real cool movie about World War II and all that. And I go, but Bigfoot though? Like,
To be fair, I haven't heard of any other Bigfoot World War II movies.
Yeah, they got us there. I mean, there's also the 1976 seminal classic, Big Five Women of the Third Reich. I pulled that out of my ass.
No, I think there's actually like a
Nazi werewolf women of the SS or something.
That's what I was thinking of.
Is that on our list? It should be.
No, but it should be. Kyle, you want to come back to review Nazi Women of the SS? werewolf
Since
women.
Kind of.
Since you minored in werewolf studies,
I majored in cryptozoology, thank you very much. A course
I
that was
see.
not given.
Is there a college that actually has a cryptozoology degree? I feel like there
No.
ought
to
to be.
Google.
Absolutely not. I've got Google pulled up right now. When I looked up cryptozoology degree, it immediately went to Australia.
Monster
Well,
makers.
you've always wanted to study abroad.
There is a degree at Thomas Francis University, and it says cryptozoology degree or hominology degree. It's an accelerated metaphysics bachelor's, master, or PhD.
You can buy a degree. Or buy a diploma for cryptozoology.
I'm not sure I trust a university that has two first names.
You're
Johns
not feeling
Francis
Thomas
University.
Francis?
University of South Dakota. That's two names,
yes.
right?
Also, dear listeners, Kyle is also an alumni from our beloved South Dakota.
Yeah, he got a degree in cryptozoology. Would have gotten a master's if not for his bum knee.
All I'm seeing here is that I was scammed because I could have got this degree for $950.
Hey, it's never too late to continue your education.
That's 5 bachelor's courses, 3 masters, and the doctoral program.
Christ on a bike.
For $900?
Yeah, and then I could just get a TV show on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah. God knows they don't vet anybody.
Hey, that Ancient Aliens
So-
guy seems pretty...
What's the name of the Bigfoot research people?
The Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization. I don't know. I follow them on Facebook just for comedy.
Bigfoot
Kyle, you-
Field Researchers Organization?
Hold on.
That's it. BFRO or BFO,
Yeah.
whatever.
Rocky
So-
Mountain Sasquatch organization is the one I follow.
So, Jack,
Hey?
we have to tell this story. I'll let you do the first half of it, where you talk about your cousin Mel and the guy that she dated. And then I'll follow it up with my parts. But you lead the way.
So, my beloved cousin Mel, who I love dearly, dated this one guy. And he was, by all accounts, a normal person, you know.
Yeah, they always seem that way.
College educated. I believe he worked on the police force with her or something. I don't know if it was with whatever, unimportant. And he's quite skeptical. He didn't believe in ghosts or snarks or grumpkins or anything like that. However, this came to light later on in their relationship that he was a super hardcore believer in Bigfoot and was active within the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization. And just to humor him, she goes on a camping trip with him that's sponsored by the Rocky Mountain Research Organization or whatever. And every noise throughout the night, he was like, "Oh, that's a Bigfoot mimicking a bird," or "Oh, did you hear that? It's knocking rocks together," and blah 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 blah. And then he gives her this nugget of insider information that there are various chapters and organizations of Bigfoot researchers across the United States, presumably the world. And apparently the New Mexico chapter, it refuses to work with anyone, and they're super duper secretive because they know the location of a very aggressive Sasquatch that doesn't like to be bothered, that they nicknamed Grumpy. And so there's a fucking Bigfoot turf war going on under our noses.
So that's part one. So like Jack said, Miranda and I, we came over and we hung out with Jack and cousin Mel. She's not my cousin, but we just call her cousin Mel now. And she's telling us this story because, random conversations abound at dinner and game night and whatnot. But it goes a step further because the thing that she drew the line at was, like Jack said, he was a big Bigfoot person, and even just having it as a hobby, okay, kind of weirded her out, but that's fine. But the dude also, in his personal library, had Bigfoot erotica, to which
You don't?
both me and Jack. No, I don't.
Weirdo.
I don't think I
But
can trust anyone who doesn't have at least a little Bigfoot erotica.
Little Bigfoot. So to which me and Jack's response was, "There's what?"
Oh, yeah. There's tons of cryptid erotica out there.
I know that now. The fucking perverts on TikTok showed me that. Dude, have you ever gone on the wrong side of fucking book talk?
No. And I don't
It is
plan
a weird it is a weird fucking place where people with bat wings are into bondage and shit. It gets downhill real quick.
Yeah, dude, the female gooning epidemic is reaching just gargantuan proportion.
Anyways, as soon as I heard this, my first inclination, I went to Amazon. I was like, this can't be real. And I went to Amazon and I just typed in Bigfoot erotica. And there's not just a couple books. There is endless numbers of Bigfoot erotica where like Bigfoot like steals a maiden and then has his way with her, like entire box sets. It is absurd how much of this there is. And from that point forward, I made it my mission that I would incorporate this into some sort of practical joke somewhere. So you remember Miranda's cousin Jackson?
Yeah.
He lived on our floor. He was like right next to me.
The Courage the Cowardly Dog tattoo on his ass.
Yeah.
We were there for the conception of that. It was a magical moment. It'll forever remain a treasured memory. But that's more on that later.
So anyways, they, Jackson's like 6'5", 6'6", like he's a tall motherfucker. And his girlfriend Katie is like an inch too tall to be considered a dwarf. So there's a huge size disparity between them that we've always made fun of. So for like their wedding anniversary, I went to Amazon and I had it sent as an anonymous gift, but when you send something as a gift, you get to add like a little note to the recipient. And I bought them a box set Bigfoot erotica thing by the author name, it has to be a fake name, but his name is Professor Chuck E. Tingle.
Ah, yes.
Prolific author.
Yeah, great. He's amazing.
Truly a Renaissance man. Anywho, so I bought this box set by this dude and had it sent to them, and in the note I just wrote, "To my little foot from your Bigfoot." And literally, like, maybe 3 days later, he starts blowing up our phones. He's like, "I swear to God, if you don't tell Katie who the fuck this came from, I'm going to murder you." And I just kept ignoring him.
You son of a bitch.
I was like, this is fucking hilarious. His wife thinks he's got a Bigfoot fetish.
This week on the John Show, he breaks up a marriage.
Oh, they're fine. They have a kid. Kids always save a marriage.
Yep.
100% of the time. It's never been a bad idea.
If you hit them enough,
50%
they'll
of the
fix
time,
any
it works
marriage.
every time.
See? You just got... It's like diverting the trauma from each other to the kid. Everything works out right. Everyone's a winner.
And then you don't have to deal with that because it's the kids' trauma now.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck them.
It's their therapy bill.
Besides, the funniest comedians were traumatized children. Best artists, too.
Like Chuck Tingle, he's an artist.
Like Chuck Tingle. Exactly. It all comes full circle.
This is absolutely going to sound like a little side thing here, but do you guys know shit about dinosaurs?
Do
Don't
not
you
get him
even
started. Don't
So
you fucking
Chuck
dare.
Chuck Tingle has a Harry Potter parody erotica
Jesus Christ.
No
called
way.
Harriet Porber and the Bad Boy Parasaurolophus. I don't know what that is, but it's a dinosaur.
Don't get him started, man.
Kyle, were you ever there for my fucking dinosaur shenanigans?
Jesus Christ.
I wasn't, but I've had to deal with David's dinosaur shenanigans, so.
Fucking
Wait,
David.
what is David's dinosaur shenanigans?
Oh, Dave loves dinosaurs. He was a dinosaur kid growing up. So if you get him drunk and mention anything about dinosaurs, you have to listen to it for an hour and a half.
Okay, now I want to get him drunk even more.
I think this must have
sounds
been
hilarious.
before. I think this must have been before we joined, like our drinking social circles merged, because before, like, obviously we did like game nights all the time and movie nights all the time, but there was a time in me and Jack's drinking circle for like a better part of a year. I kept telling people whenever dinosaurs came up in conversation that I didn't think dinosaurs were real.
Well, the devil put dinosaurs on Earth.
No, I didn't even take that route, dude. I've told this story on this podcast many a times before, but the short answer to it is I went with dinosaurs are a government conspiracy so that they could increase ticket sales to museums.
I can get on board with that. I love a good conspiracy.
Like I was legit just doing it to be shitty and to piss people off, because if you've ever, next time you start drinking, try and tell a drunk person that dinosaurs don't exist, and it short circuits their brain.
And you really can't overstate this. He did this for a fucking year.
No, it got to the point that Miranda almost left me over this.
Noted dinosaur lover Miranda.
Yeah, a reason for breaking up. Talk too much shit about dinosaurs.
I'll be right back.
Well,
I gotta use
she
the
was
bathroom.
like, so she was like, you know, we got home one night after a party where I had once again mentioned to the room at large that I didn't believe in dinosaurs, and here's the thing, my rule with it was I wouldn't bring it up unless somebody else mentioned dinosaurs. If somebody else mentioned dinosaurs, then I would say I don't believe in dinosaurs.
Did dinosaurs come up that often that you were
Dude,
on the rocks?
That's the thing. You don't realize how often dinosaurs come up in conversation until you've made the decision to say that statement every time they come up in conversation.
Until you make the decision that dinosaurs are going to make you some enemies.
Yes. So one night we come home and she's like, John, I legitimately need to know, because I don't think I can be with somebody who doesn't believe in dinosaurs. And she's like, yes or no, do you believe in them? And I'm like, this is stupid. There's no way she's going to leave me because of this fucking practical joke. So I was like, I gotta dig the knife just one last turn. And I just looked at her and, like, dead face, I was like, I have my doubts. And she, like, stood up and walked out of the house. I'm like, oh.
Oh, shit. I just really like the idea that, you know, you're 8 drinks in, you're sitting there in a room, someone says dinosaur, and she looks over, and you just perk up from your drink.
Now's my time to shine.
I've been waiting for this all night.
Oh, I can't wait to see David again and pull this on him.
He will... I don't know. We got to get him really drunk. Which isn't hard to do. But... because he will argue about it.
Oh, I can't wait. And that's the fun part of taking the dinosaurs aren't real track, is that no amount of logic matters.
Yeah, you just got to keep doubling down. That's
Yeah.
the part about taking any controversial, in quotes, stance when you're drunk and talking to drunk people, is if you just keep doubling down, they're just going to get mad and keep working themselves into this drunken frenzy.
Kind of like talking to
Right.
people who believe in Bigfoot.
Hey,
I've returned. Also, while I was up, I have the tingler that you bought me a couple years ago, John.
Wait, I bought you a tingler?
Yeah, you did. You sent
what
it to me
adult store
for...
did you get that at?
No, you just get
Yes,
it on
tell
Amazon.
us. But anyway, I've had this in my bedside table for years now. Never got around to reading it. But it's Chuck's...
Your bedside table, never read it once.
Oh yeah, it's my regular whacking material. Anyway, Chuck's Bigfoot Tinglers Volume 1 by Chuck Tingle. I'm just open up to your random page here.
Oh, Jesus.
And now, listen to the subtle sounds of Bigfoot erotica.
Yolduk actually chuckles to himself as I collect my wits, then places his large hands behind my head and helps to push me back down onto his rod again.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
ready now, taking him deep and then relaxing as the head of his mammoth cock presses up against my gag reflex. I just opened up to a random page, too.
You guys should get a
say-
second podcast going where you just buy Chuck Tingle's books and read them out loud.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that was
So there's actually shout out to this podcast. I don't know if they know of us or if they're still a thing, but the algorithms doing what they do. After you search for Bigfoot erotica, your phone starts to think that that's what you're into.
oh yeah, wow,
It finds out that's what you're into.
What a far-flung suspicion for an algorithm, huh, guys?
Anyways, when I was doing these purchases for my dear friends and family, Spotify was like, "Hey, we noticed you kind of like Bigfoot, like a lot."
Like a lot.
Like a lot. Wink, wink. So it recommended me this podcast called The Monster Mash, and it's a podcast that reviews monster erotica.
Why the
Well,
fuck
shout
are
out
we
to you
listening
guys.
to this right now?
That sounds like something I need to get in on.
I'll send it to you after the show.
Deal. I got a whole, 6-hour drive tomorrow, so I'll
With
get some
your mom?
erotica in.
Oh wait, no, you're meeting her. Never mind. I
Yeah,
was
by
like-
myself tomorrow. But once me and my mom get a couple Four Locos in me, I might be looking to listen to some podcasts.
Anyways, back to this fucking movie.
Back off this
I think-
tangent to what we were talking about.
I think this tangent goes perfectly into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is the love story in this movie. No laughs. Okay.
It's a spy movie, romance monster movie. I don't know what you
Yeah,
want from me.
Anyways, something I've kind of complained about in the past on this show is I've oftentimes said that I'm not opposed to movies with like a romance or a love plot in it. But every movie that we've reviewed on this show thus far, I have bitched about it. Because I'm like, this is a stupid plot point, or it doesn't make sense, or it doesn't fit in. This movie easily has probably one of the top 3 love stories I have seen in any movie ever.
Ever. Have you ever watched Pride and
Ever.
Prejudice?
Yes. That's why I said top 3.
Okay, fair. I'm with it. I'm hip.
I mean, have you seen Schindler's List?
Shut
Sorry.
up, Jack.
You go to your corner.
Wrong Nazi movie, Jack.
It's never the wrong
No.
Nazi movie as long as Hitler's involved.
It further goes to how well the flashbacks are done in this movie. Because, not only are we seeing, he does a lot of dangerous stuff for his country, which shows why he has to be the one that kills Bigfoot, but we see why he has his PTSD. It's not yes, killing a man does contribute to it, but it's also because he sacrifices a lot of his personal life and, the woman he loves in order to do the things his country asks of him.
To go kill someone who is then replaced and essentially nothing comes of it.
Right? This love story, he meets, he literally calls her a saint. That is in this movie. He's like, you are better than a saint. That is his words. He is head over heels in love. He is so in love, and he thinks this person is so perfect that he's never able to truly muster up the courage to propose to her. And it's so heartbreaking because he misses out on all of his youth spending this time for her. She waits for him, and then she dies. And, basically he never gets to have the life that he wants with this woman that he loves and who loves him. And, it's truly like a tragedy. And I've only cried during 2 movies prior to this. This is movie number 3. The first movie I ever cried at was Finding Dory.
That's kind of impressive that, most people are going to read The Man Who Killed Hitler and then Bigfoot and go, yeah, nothing to it, and you're crying watching it.
Right? Well, that's the thing, is when I saw the title of this movie and the description, I'm like, this is going to be a fucking stupid hour-and-a-half long movie that I'm going to rip apart. And no, I fucking cried during this movie because of this love story. Like, that
What
is
did you
how...
text me yesterday? Like, oh, it's actually good?
Yeah. And that was before I started crying. But no, it's... The second movie I ever cried at was The Whale, starring Brendan Fraser.
And I have a relationship with the whale.
I am the
You
whale.
fucked Brendan Fraser?
I wish. No, I watched it for my
I'd fuck
birthday
him.
one year, and I had, I think, 11 fireball shots throughout the day,
Jesus
and like
Christ,
6
why?
mixed drinks. It was my birthday. I was celebrating. But
Anyway,
I ordered food to eat while I watched The Whale. And I remember the very beginning of the movie. And then when I came back online, I had a pile of bones in front of me from my chicken wings, and Brendan Fraser was going to heaven. So,
spiritual moment.
yeah, I've watched The Whale, in quotes.
I haven't.
But I mean, that's
Spoiler
what
alert.
I mean by this is honestly such a good movie. The love story in this movie is what I think honestly would make it Oscar worthy, and then they half-assed this whole Bigfoot thing, and that's what pissed me off about it.
So I did a little bit of, looking into the movie after I watched it. And not just because I was looking to not work for a little bit, but I found a few different threads on Reddit. And one of them put up a point that made me like the ending a little more with the whole Bigfoot thing. That, Bigfoot is real in the movie, but it's also a metaphor for Sam Elliott dealing with his inner demons and killing this outer demon. And I really like that as a comparison with Sasquatch at the end.
I think that might be just a teeny bit of a stretch, but like I can
it
get
could
on
be.
I can get on board with that idea. Jack, what was your favorite part of this entire movie?
I liked the part when he killed Hitler and then Bigfoot. I don't know, the vomit scene was pretty funny. It came out of fucking nowhere.
Jack enjoyed 5 minutes of the movie.
But goddammit, he enjoyed all of the title. I kind of like the part at the end when he gets back into the helicopter and that one dude said, "You did it! By God, you did it! You became the man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot." And then the credits roll.
And Sam Elliott's still just sitting there with Bigfoot vomit all over him.
Yeah.
A moment, like there's a lot of little things, like just little, like you gotta pay attention for, but like the moment that made me laugh the most in this film was when we have young Sam Elliott infiltrating the Nazi headquarters, and he enters the room where Hitler is, and he gives the Nazi salute, but then it quick pans to behind his back where you see him crossing his fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't really mean the Nazi salute.
He really stuck it to Hitler with that one, didn't he?
Sure did. I also thought that his top secret message to Hitler was just a U.S. recruiting poster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that quite a bit.
Honestly, something that surprised me, and it took me entirely too long to figure out, was the fact that the barber was his brother.
Yeah, same here. I didn't realize it for a hot... Did they say it early in the movie, or did they just leave it till a little later and just throw it at you?
I didn't make the connection that that was his brother until the scene where his brother was giving the eulogy, like when he faked his death.
Yeah, I think that's when I got it too, because I think before that I thought they were just good buddies.
Like, it didn't shock me, but I was like, huh, I didn't catch this before that.
And does not knowing that decrease my enjoyment? No. But it's cool information to have
Yeah, it was a
going
nice
back
little,
to
like,
it.
added tidbit.
And when he goes in to get his hair cut and he says he hasn't been there in a while, he's a pretty closed off person, not talking to his brother in that time. Like, I do think I like it more with that information looking back.
Speaking of dinosaurs, that was also a scene that kind of broke my heart. Was we have a flashback where his little brother gives him a little like dinosaur pendant thing for when he goes off to war, and then he doesn't return it to him until like 60 years later when he's about to go fake his fucking after he's faked his death.
Oh man, this movie really gets you.
Yeah, Jack remembers it perfectly. He could never forget.
Nope.
Really sticks with you. And then that part of the movie where he accidentally knocks Bigfoot's mask off and it's fucking Hitler underneath, just aged and hiding from the CIA still.
I knew
That
you
would have been a fucking twist.
I knew you
Right?
escaped to Argentina.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. So, this is completely unrelated, but I saw a post on Reddit earlier this week that's like, what fictional villain would you have the easiest time defending in court? And one of the top answers was, like, half or 60% of all Scooby-Doo villains. They're just people being assholes and scaring them off their own property.
I thought for sure you were about to say Hitler, and I was like,
No,
how are these Redditors going to defend Hitler?
no, he's not fucking Hitler. It's always
Well, it's
Hitler for you, Kyle.
I mean,
Nope.
it's Reddit. It's Reddit. Like, were you expecting much? Like, remember when Reddit went through that, like, piss drinking phase during COVID?
No.
No.
Oh,
What
you were...
subreddits are you on?
Yeah, you
Let's not
fucking
talk about
weirdo.
Don't worry about it, okay?
At least my Bigfoot erotica doesn't have piss drinking in
Yeah,
it.
me and Kyle have taste.
Tell that to the guys over at Wall Street Bets, okay?
You will not soil our thinly veiled furry pornography with your piss play. God, I hate myself for saying that.
Did I ever tell you... So, slightly related, but not really, you saying the word furry made me remember something. So, Kyle, you remember my father, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Jer Bear.
I mean, if you called him Jer Bear to his face, you'd probably break your arm, but...
Well, shit, he got mad at me for calling him sir.
What is he doing talking to me? Anyways, so he was out here last summer, and my parents are like really into, that like one TV show that's like Oddities, where it's that store that just has a bunch of weird shit.
No.
Okay,
no,
well,
but I've been to a couple stores like that.
They're like stores that have like, oh, this used to be an electric chair, or here's a skull, or here's a iguana, like taxidermy thing. Like,
Yeah, there's
just
one of those in Austin, Texas, and they've got a frozen Iceman in the back.
Colorado has a frozen Iceman.
The one in Austin's very fake.
The guy
just
here
a
in
heads
Colorado-
up. But...
you don't say.
Well, the guy in Colorado's very real.
I thought we were gonna have an Encino Man shit again.
Have you ever heard of Frozen Dead Guy Days?
I have heard of that, actually.
So there's a town up in the mountains in Colorado. This dude, it was like the 70s or 80s or something like that. He passed away of old age, but he said, I want to be cryogenically frozen. Well, he didn't have cryogenic freezing money, to put it mildly. So what he did was he bought a tough shed, and in his will, he's like, this tough shed is meant to be my crypt. And they bought like a person-sized freezer, put his body in it, and then just packed a bunch of dry ice on top of it, which they continue to do to this day. They have to replace the dry ice like every other week. But the town got so mad about it because they're like, we can't have some fucking frozen grandfather in a backyard in our fucking town. So they outlawed cryogenic freezing in this town, but because he was already dead and had done it prior to it, he was literally air quotes grandfathered in. But then it started generating a ton of tourism because everybody's like, I want to see the guy buried in a tough shed.
I want to see
And
the popsicle.
yeah, and now it's like a big town festival that like they've embraced it, and it's called Frozen Dead Guy Days, and they have like it's like Halloween in March basically, and they have like coffin sledding and like music and like Halloween costume part like contests and all that kind of stuff. It's a great time. Highly recommend it. Tangent from the side tangent. Anyways, so you know my father, the very stern man that he is. Him and my parents are really interested into like they like weird shit. So last year they were visiting, and there happened to be an oddities festival that was here in Denver. So I was like, oh, we should go check it out. You probably see some shit you like there. Well, this was the first time that Papa Jerry saw a big titty goth girl for the first time in his life.
This is
changed
what
his
you
life.
fought for, Dad.
I was like, you gotta roll your tongue back in, Dad. Like that, you can't be staring here. It's no bueno.
Did he hit her with the wowza, 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 awooga?
No, but I wish. I wish I had taken a picture. I wish I had taken a picture of him because he was just like, you could see his brain was short circuiting. He's like, I didn't even know that could exist.
Or was it like the cartoonish wood springing noise they use in cartoons? It's kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the parents watching.
Right. But he also, for the very first time, saw and found out about the existence of furries.
Oh no.
That's a tough day. That's a tough day.
No.
It was a roller coaster of emotions for him. Again, I was like, Dad, you can't point, you can't fucking stare, just turn around.
Just try to go about your life.
Just ignore the person dressed like a fucking fox, okay? Like, don't ask him what the fox says, just walk away. So yeah. I don't know why we got on that tangent, but I figured I'd share that story. It just seemed kind of funny.
I like oddity museums, so I'm with your parents. To rein that in a little bit out of big titty goth girlfriends and furries. They have good taste in pastimes.
Right? I mean, who doesn't like one or the other of those things?
I remember it feels like a fever dream because, like, I've never been to the building again, but when I was a little kid and I lived in Sturgis, there was this shop, and they had, like, you know, clothes and souvenir kind of stuff. But in, like, one corner, they had a giant stuffed Sasquatch.
Okay.
And I got in my head as a kid that it was absolutely real because their front window was broken and it did that. Because you know how kids operate.
Yeah, I'm tracking.
And my life has been downhill ever since. That was my introduction into cryptids.
So what would you?
But it was
so
kind
is,
of a, yeah.
So is Bigfoot your favorite cryptid, or is it just
No,
you know? What's your favorite cryptid then?
Mothman's my favorite. Mothman also has erotica, so just a heads up there. You can find it.
I'm not shocked, but I really didn't need that additional information.
It's important to know which cryptids do and don't have erotica.
I'm pretty sure
Yes,
everything
this is
has
day
erotica
one
of some sort.
cryptozoology stuff, man. First thing they teach you.
Was there anything about this film you wanted to touch on that we hadn't touched on that really struck you, Kyle?
The box at the end that he pulled out of the grave?
The greatest mystery, because I Googled it and nobody can agree what's in the box.
Yeah, I also Googled it. The two best answers I got were love notes or a gun.
Hitler's head.
Hitler's
Anyway.
mustache.
Yep.
Tore it off him after he shot him.
I mean, I would.
I saw a good one that is like it didn't provide an answer as to what the box was, but they're like, it's a representation of his ability to like, basically it's a metaphor for him like bottling up his emotions. And it's like every day he goes to like potentially open it, but he never does, which is supposed to be like a nod to the fact that he like constantly pushes his emotions to the side. But
At the
that
end of
might
the
be
movie, too, he's talking to his dog and he says, maybe one day, because he still doesn't open it.
right. Great ending to the film, by the way. Just
Yeah, I mean, overall.
walking away into the darkness. I will say this movie made me think of something, which is why does every film that ever shows like digging up a grave or grave robbing as like some sort of easy task? Like nobody ever gets caught grave robbing.
Do you want
They
to take
never
the
get
job
caught.
as do you want to take the job as a security guard for a cemetery?
Yes.
Was that a ghost?
Yeah, your only job is like fucking sleeping and saying ghost, and then calling in Scoob and the gang to do your job for you.
I don't know. It's just film has made it seem to me that robbing a grave is apparently easy. That nobody ever
Yeah, they
interrupts
never
you.
get caught, and they're never exhausted by the time they get to the end. They get to the end, they're good to go for whatever they need to do to get out of there and get out of there, you know?
But who knows? I'll do some research and I'll get back to you on how easy it is. I think now would be a good time to transition. What do we have for drinks, guys?
I'm glad you asked. I bought 3 packs of Mountain Dew yesterday because I make great decisions with my money and my health. It's the red, white, and blue specials,
Ooh, I'm going to be buying that tomorrow.
and
I
I
don't
got
even know what that is.
They came
I'm
out with
good.
like Fourth of July Mountain Dew.
Yeah, because nothing's more American than drinking yourself into a diabetic coma.
True.
But anyway, I'm one of these nights I'm gonna combine all 3 of Mountain Dews to make the American Dew, and then chug it. But right now I'm on blue, which is a good flavor.
It tastes like blue.
Yes, and I will not elaborate.
It's fair. I know
Kyle?
what blue tastes like. I don't need you to tell me. I, because it's Tuesday, have a Diet Dr. Pepper that I got at Hy-Vee.
Nice. I appreciate a good Dr. Pepper from time to time.
Oh, Dr. Pepper's the best. You can't go wrong with Dr. Pepper.
I saw that Dr. Pepper just passed Pepsi as the second most popular soda brand.
That's weird because it should be the first.
Well, Coke's got a pretty solid head start.
Yeah, but it'll get there. It'll get there.
One day.
I believe in my boy the doctor.
I remember when he was just Mr. Pepper.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him for getting that doctorate.
Well, Mr. Pepper was his dad, you know?
Now, Colonel Pepper, that was his grandpappy. Or Sergeant Pepper.
Cuckoo Cachoo.
Beatles.
So what I have is I have the Far Superior Chicken Restaurant's lemonade. I have Raising Cane's. So that's what I got is Raising Cane's. I have Raising Cane's lemonade. I would have an alcoholic beverage, but as I stated earlier in the episode, I'm recording from my car, and they kind of frown on that. So
Oh, what are they going to do, arrest you?
True.
yes, Jack, that is a very real possibility.
Oh, yeah, I guess they would. But
Just drive straight.
I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
So yesterday was not a good day for me. Let's just get this out of the way. This weekend I got sunburned while kayaking because forgive the fuck out of me for thinking I wouldn't need sunscreen on a cloudy day that was 70-some degrees. And, you know, the sunburn, I can take sunburns. They ain't shit. However...
It's the melanoma that gets you.
Fuck it. But,
Eventually.
So, have you guys heard of something called Hell's Itch?
Yes, I have something to add to this. You finish your story and I'll fucking tell you mine.
So
buddy.
this is actually the second time I've gotten it. This is not my first rodeo. The first time was on my 21st birthday. And, we had to do fucking medical detective work to find out what was going on with me. And they loaded me up with antihistamines, slathered me in peppermint oil, and and set me on my merry way. Because of the aforementioned histamine or antihistamines, I couldn't drink that much, so I had a grand total of 1 beer on my 21st birthday. And not only that, I had to work that day and the next day. So even if I didn't get the itches, I'd still wouldn't be allowed to drink that much. Anyway, so yesterday, I thought, maybe I'm in the clear. So, I stop at Dakota Mart, buy my shit, including the dew, and I didn't get the itching until after I got home. But I was caught with my pants down because I couldn't find the peppermint oil when I was at Dakota Mart because I knew it was coming. But I did have a hot shower, so I was in the shower for like 2 hours yesterday, waiting on a friend to deliver all this to me. Eventually got it, and my house smells like a candy cane now, and I'm wearing peppermint oil as I speak. But swear I was going with this. Oh yeah. Earlier though, I decided to do dry July, no alcohol in July. Unfortunately, I forgot yesterday was July 1st. So I had a beer with some friends when we were out for lunch yesterday. And then we're out to lunch again today, and I said, I'm going to do dry July. And then just my friend, without missing a beat, bro, I saw you drink a Sapporo yesterday. Fuck.
Oops.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Dry July starting from 1 p.m. on July 1st.
Well, just like most alcoholics say, 1 beer doesn't count.
That same friend also, I got cut off in traffic on my way to that restaurant, so I was just sitting halfway in a fucking intersection awkwardly, and I had to like back up my car and shit, and it was just embarrassing. He saw that and announced it to the table. It's like, hey, were you the one that got stuck in the intersection? Fuck you, Colin.
Kyle,
So, yeah.
what's your itch?
I know all about Hell's Itch. We went on a cruise in June, my mom and my brother and me. And I was shirtless in the sun for one day. Forgot to put sunscreen on my chest down in Mexico. Was fine the next day. Like, I was sunburned,
Yep,
but I
it
was
takes
good.
2 days.
Yeah, then the day after that, we're in the airport waiting in line to go through TSA, and I'm itching like crazy. And I looked at my mom and I said, it feels like I'm being tortured.
Yeah.
And I just, like, she got some lotion for me. I put that on. It didn't help too much right away, and then it goes away. Then it would come in waves. And, like, we were walking from one gate to another one, and I am actually panicking. Like, my fight or flight is going, and I'm itching like a crack addict, and I am just trying to get through this airport. And my mom and brother are making fun of me for moving so fast, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get there because I can't see past the itch right now. Everything sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, and I liken the feeling to imagine 1,000 fire ants hatching underneath your skin and crawling around and biting it.
And your body's instinct says scratch it, but that just makes it worse.
Yeah, and I tried cortisone last night, and that made it even worse. Those anti-itch creams are bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
But pro tip: the only thing that for sure treats it is a hot shower and some peppermint oil if you can get. Oh, and antihistamines like Benadryl.
Yeah, I popped some Benadryl. That was my go-to for it.
Good shit. So yeah, I'm still feeling the itch, but the worst of it's over.
Well, anyways,
Welcome to Hell's Itch Podcast.
I'm
when
scratchy.
we talk about going down on Bigfoot's massive schlong, I think it's about time we rate this thing. Kyle, I don't know how many of our previous episodes you've caught, but we don't do stars around here. We usually do something unique to each episode. I am open to suggestions. My personal suggestion, though, would be one to 5 Stegosaurus statues, but I'm willing to hear other suggestions.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go right for a rating. I'd give it like 4 liters of Bigfoot vomit out of 5.
I'm sorry. What was your metric, John?
Mine was going to be dinosaur statues, but I'm fine with liters of Bigfoot vomit.
Well, it doesn't matter what the rating is. I give it 5 out of 5 liters and 5 out of 5 statues across the board.
I really like this movie. I think it's very well done. I know we didn't really talk a ton technically about it, but this truly is like a beautifully shot film, and the dialogue is actually very good.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott. Love me some Sam Elliott. I want it to be a 5-liter film, but just because of how poorly and rushed they did the Bigfoot part, I'm going to give it 4 liters of Bigfoot vomit.
Y'all are some fucking Philistines. This is art.
Nobody said it wasn't art, but it could have been more art.
Let me reiterate. This is peak fiction. Well, peak movie. This is
This is peak Hitler and Bigfoot.
Peak Hitler and Bigfoot media. It's not often those two cross, but when they do, it's just pure dynamite.
There's a lot to work with here, and I will give it credit. Like, one thing I wasn't expecting that I got excited for a second. At first, they're like, Bigfoot is sick. I'm like, wait a minute. Are all the people who were murdered by Bigfoot actually not murdered, but actually like Bigfoot zombie things? And I'm like, oh, Bigfoot army. Like, I was really hyping myself up, but then it's just like, oh, he's got the plague. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking lame.
I thought they were going to try to, like, wing it into Bigfoot is the victim here, and he wasn't going to kill him for whatever reason at the end.
Yeah. It turns out that Bigfoot was actually one of the previous guys who went to go hunt Bigfoot.
Oh my god. And he passed on the curse to his victim.
I did see another theory on Reddit that Bigfoot is actually the Russian dude from the beginning who shaved him.
Mm.
And it was part of the curse that they were talking about. But I don't think I like that one very much.
That's fair. Jack, what does Rotten Tomatoes give this film?
Shit, I just closed that too. Rotten Tommy Toes, the
Fuck the audience.
Closest. I usually go with the audience on these things, but no, they're wrong. They got this movie wrong. Fuck them, they're idiots. Philistines, even.
Yeah, the totally legal website I watched it on gave it a 3.7 out of 5.
You know you could have just watched this on Hulu, right?
I was already on the website. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, might as well use it. In for a penny. Fucking...
It's like when I had to watch fucking last week's movie on a fucking .ru website.
Listen, I'm sure Ivanovich is using our hard-earned data for good causes.
Yeah, probably.
More than likely. Some
that
Dimitri...
data is helping fund an orphanage.
I can't wait for whatever KGB agent that watches my phone has to decipher what the fuck Bigfoot erotica is.
He knows.
Dude, I bet because of that episode, there's just one lonely, depressed guy listening to our podcast for nuggets of information that he can use on America. He didn't get the big boy assignment of getting to troll War Thunder forum posts for leaks. No, he got relegated to this shit job.
He gets to go tell Putin about Bigfoot erotica.
And Dimitri, since I know you're listening to this, I wanted to tell you good job. And fuck you.
Since
Dimitri,
you're listening, zip your pants back up.
Dimitri, you deserve a pierogi. Well, that has been our review of The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. I know it took us a long time to get this arranged, but I hope we can have you again sometime in the near future for that werewolf Nazi woman film.
Yeah, thanks for having me. If you have any films that are cryptid or cryptid adjacent or paranormal, I'll be here.
I have been wanting to review that one movie, Overlord, for the longest time.
Yes, Nazi zombie D-Day.
You're goddamn right.
It's almost as good as Dino D-Day.
Almost.
Kyle, have you ever played that game?
I have not.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh my god. I think I still have a free copy I can send out. So there's a game on Steam. It's called Dino D-Day, and the premise is Nazi scientists Jurassic Park dinosaurs alive again, and then fix machine guns to them.
Yeah, is that a Triceratops with a tank on its back?
Yes.
Bro, it's 90% off right now. I'm totally getting this.
It is 99 cents.
Jack, I'm pretty sure I
bet-
sent you a copy.
No, there's no way you did.
Yeah,
Oh.
because when I bought it like 7 years ago, it was a 5-pack for $3.
It's a 4-pack for $3 right now. 7 playable dinosaur classes.
Holy shit. For 99 cents, too. I don't know who the dev is, but he should definitely be sponsoring this.
Should reach out to him. Jack, do you have anything else?
I'm about to shit my brains out, so if we can end this podcast.
Duly noted.
We can keep it going until he shits his pants.
Fuck you.
If you want additional content from us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, YouTube under Armchair Commanders Podcast. Please leave a review. The stars do matter. Until next time, I've been John,
And I'm Jack.
Oh, okay.
and we will catch you all later.
I'm not fucking saying it.